Welcome back to another episode of Find the Line, presented by Against the Grain Design and Print, where we dive into real stories with real racers, the successes, the hardships, and everything in between, with your co-hosts Logan Cipala and Joe Falde. Produced by Luke Cipala, it all starts right here, right now, on Find the Line.
Yeah, and we can do anything. Mama said it's true, and I put that on everything. Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to say when shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange, and I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way.
Woo! All right, welcome back to Find the Line, my motorcycle maniacs. Oh man, this week we're gonna try to pack 9 pounds into a 5-pound bag. We got a guest this week. He's been just a huge part of the social fabric of Hillclimb. Not only an unbelievably accomplished champion and racer, but a BMC club member that puts back 3 times what he's ever taken out. A man that's Hillclimbed on many continents. And you might know him as number 4. You might know him as number 2 Crooked 05. But we know him as Superfly. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Superfly Teyler. How's it going, Austin?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
You like that crooked number? You like that crooked number I threw in there?
I do. That's a first. I haven't heard that one yet. I love it. That's clever.
After talking with Matt, I think his new nickname's going to have to be Adventure Fly, though, the way it sounds.
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude. Unbelievable. Where are we catching in the world tonight, Austin?
Right here in my hometown, Billings, Montana. That's where we're recording. Yep.
Nice. And you're sitting in your very own home, I heard.
I am. Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Got married and got a house. I mean, it seems like it all happened at once, right back to back. And yeah, it's been my year pretty much. Has just been all that going on and whatnot. But yeah, it's good, man. It's pretty crazy, surreal. I'm married and I got my own house, and yeah, it's like, holy cow, this is the real deal. But yeah.
You did it like us, where we got our house done, bought a ring, got a wet, and then got married. And I'm like, dude, we have to cool it for like 2 years because this has been rough.
Yep, I know. It's actually pretty overwhelming. It really is, and especially when you're like signing papers on a house and you look at that big number, and then you're like, dang, I just bought a ring. Like all that at once is just definitely like, dude, it's crazy. So worth it, man. So worth it. If you're gonna do it, just go in I'll go all in,
Yeah.
Yep. Why not?
Congrats on all fronts. So happy for you. Your wife just seems like an amazing person, and life is just better with a teammate, right? So Absolutely. Good for you guys. And American dream stuff. I mean, I know people live their entire life, never owned any property or a home. Good for you. Not only do you make and build and do everything, but now you get to do your own crap for your own stuff and, work all day and then come home and work all night, right?
Yeah, it's living the dream, man. Honestly, I can't complain. I cannot complain. It is the American dream for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Dude, we got tonight, we got so many things that we want to talk about, but there's a lot of fans that listen to the podcast that don't have a ginormous Hillclimb background. And anybody that's ever even seen a Hillclimb bike knows you, knows of you, knows what you're about. But I just kind of want to talk a little bit about a little number 4 growing up. And what I always thought was really cool is you're a Billings native, but you guys also kind of had co-residency in Cali, didn't you, growing up?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. My parents are actually from California, so that's kind of how it all started from me going back and forth. So both my mom and dad's side from there, and just growing up, when my dad was working down there and my mom was there as well, it kind of just got to that point where my dad and my dad was just kind of wanting to change. And actually my dad's side was actually from Montana, a little town here. And then my grandpa got a job in California. And so that's kind of how they got back to California. So my dad was obviously raised in California then, but my family roots, I mean, on my dad's side are in Montana. So it's pretty wild. Wow. And I don't think a lot of people even know that. Even my closer friends don't even know that. So,
Right.
Our roots run pretty deep here in Montana. And just kind of growing up, we've always kind of have I've grown up in both states. It's pretty wild and crazy to think looking back on it now. But yeah, I mean, I always traveled as a kid. Like I just was always in, like my parents were like, all right, it's time to go to Montana or it's time to go back to California. I'm like, all right, like, it was always like that. That was my whole entire life until I was in high school and decided to go all 4 years here in high school. And I had an older brother and he was pursuing things in California as well and whatnot. But I mean, Montana just always had my heart. I mean, this is just home to me. I love it here. It's just the culture is just completely different than California. And
right. That's what I was going to say is I couldn't pick two more opposite. You got cowboy hats and diesel pickups, and then you got lowriders and, I don't know, I don't know what, just California. It's just, I don't know California, but it seemed like two complete different environments. That had to be so tough as a little kid. Was it hard going from environment to environment, or maybe that's how you got the new nickname, just by adventure? You just jump in and go, I guess, huh?
Yeah, well, it was tough. It really was. The hardest thing was school. I mean, I had to go to so many different schools, more in California than here in Montana, because there's only so many schools where I was at here in Montana and Billings. So California was like, man, I'd go to one school 1 year or one semester or like one, for 3 months or 4 months. And then I'd come back to Montana and then go back in the fall. And it was like, they were full. So I had to go to a different school, and I didn't know anybody. So it was kind of just all new to me, every year. So that part was like probably the hardest, to be honest with you. And I always struggled with school as it was already. And so for me to go to school was like torture. It was just like, I wanted to hang out with my dad, go to work with my dad, or go ride my dirt bike, or go to the job and ride my dirt bike at my dad's job or wherever he was at, working and building homes. So yeah, it was always a struggle for me in the first place, but that kind of was, that was pretty tough, to be honest, but we got through it. And my mom and my dad even joke around now with it, kind of like, yeah, we feel bad we put you through it, but it is what it is, I guess. And I don't know, but
that's probably why you're so damn tough. I mean, it's going to make it
lifestyle. Yeah, for sure. It was a different lifestyle for sure, but no, it was cool. I made friends there too, and it wasn't just like, I always wanted to be in Montana. Like I had so much family in California, and at the time, even growing up in California for those few months and stuff, like I actually, had some riding buddies and stuff, like outside of even the Hillclimb sport. Because I'd go out to Carnegie and go ride, and then Go Club Moto, which is a local track that we have there and stuff. But
cool. That was another question I had. Yeah, that's another question I had is, were bikes present in both environments? Like, was that always kind of a part of your life in Billings and California?
For sure. For sure. I was actually very fortunate. My grandparents on my dad's side had a 140 acre cattle ranch right there in the Bay Area. I mean, beautiful grass, like green grass, rolling hills, cattle. I mean, we had all kinds of animals, goats, like all that, when I was younger and stuff, before my grandparents got a little older. But yeah, no, just growing up, I've always had property. And that's what I was so fortunate about. Like, it didn't matter if I was here in Montana where I could go ride the BMC and have 1,200 acres to go ride whenever I want. But I also had that in California. And that's honestly what it has helped me to be where I'm at today, really, just the seat time that I've been able to get in both places.
We've talked about before, like with people growing up. I know for me, everybody knows their own story so well. And like, if I wasn't having a good time at school, I always had my bike. I could just go hop on and bounce around, and I was in my own world, And I got to think that, man, the environment that you were in, that was more than ever present.
Yep.
It's for sure. Crazy. We take it for granted, especially people like us who have the land, and like you, Austin, too. But we're just freaking spoiled to be able to like open up the garage door and go for a ride. And at your house, you don't have to load up the truck. You don't have to pack the gear, pack a cooler, all that stuff. Like, it's just pretty awesome. We can come home from work and put the gear on and roll out of the garage and go and do some riding, and it's like no big deal, And you just
it's literally every kid's dream. And
exactly,
we've been able to live it, really. I mean, we're very fortunate, man, for sure. Very blessed.
I catch myself some days too when you get in a crabby mood and you're pouting. It's like, dude, if you would look at what you got when you're a kid, like for what I have now, it's like you'd feel pretty damn lucky or be excited to be part of it.
Absolutely. Yep. For sure. I agree.
Now I know, talking with your dad, like racing wasn't a part of his life when he was young. So you were riding in both environments, but when did racing kind of get into your life? Was that something early on, or?
Yeah, I started pretty young. My dad was always just he always had a smaller bike. So he always rode 250s for the longest time. He had some older CR 500s when I was like, when I wasn't even born. And then, when I was born, he had like an old, I remember 89 CR 500. And that thing was just like a big old, like, I remember sitting on the gas tank still to this day and him riding me around on the ranch, checking fences and cows and stuff like that. And I just had a pacifier in my mouth. And I swear, like, that thing was just a beast. And the thing, like, my dad even talks about it now. He's like, dude, that thing was the biggest hunk. And like, it had a lot of power, but like the handling and everything. But I remember that thing would vibrate so bad. Like, I'd pee my pants riding with my dad because it was just like, vibration of that thing, even as a little baby and stuff like that. My pacifier would fall out. Like, it was just like, it was crazy, right? Like, probably nothing's changed with those things. But like, I remember my dad had that 500 and then he got rid of that because he got hurt so much on it. And at the ranch, he said that thing always threw me on the ground. So he got a CR 250. My dad was the biggest Honda guy. And from what I remember and everything from the first memory that I've had with my dad, it was always Hondas. And he had the CR 250. So like hill climbing, it was like, even where we were at, like my dad knew about it and had buddies and stuff like that race, but he never got into competition. Like my grandma and grandpa, his mom and dad never supported that. Didn't want him to do that. Didn't want to get him hurt and everything. He kind of used the bike for really like his own fun, but like a tool for the ranch as well, to go get cows and to use it to, fix fence and stuff like that. But my dad used it for fun as well, for his own, but it was just a different way of looking at racing, back then. And for my dad, he got into it and stuff like when he got up here in Montana. And I think I take that back. He was in California and I think he did a few hill climbs on the 250 at Skip's events.
Oh, okay, cool.
He was really when they were really involved out there with it, Gosh, and I was a little boy, like I hardly remember it, but like I remember my dad riding the 250 and stuff, and it was all in black and everything. And as I'm talking about it, I have some memories that pop up. It's pretty cool to think about and talk about it now. But yeah, my dad knew about hill climbing and he wanted to do it, but it was also, it cost some money to enter and then get out there and do it and stuff. So it was just not something that was, like there for my dad right away. But it was really when we got back up to Montana. So my mom, my dad moved to Montana, and I literally, like, for as long as I remember, like the BMC was just this place that was the biggest, greatest, like, riding place. As a kid, like you can't even fathom like what was out there. And like, even now, like I'm still like in awe of the place, and I've ridden out there. It's my stomping grounds, but it was just a blessing because like when I moved up here, or when my parents moved up here, they bought the house, like we had property in our backyard and everything. And we built the track. My dad built the track. And so my dad was riding here, and when he had the money, he would, rent a tractor and start building some jumps in their backyard and stuff. But like, it was never like, my dad never got into it young. He was just kind of starting a family. He was trying to make some money. And, my mom and, was young, and they were both young and having kids. And then, my brother didn't really have much, interest in the sport or even in bikes in general. My brother rode a little bit and stuff, even when I was too young to, but, I think that's kind of what took more time for my dad, because then I came out and it was a whole different story.
And he's like, here's my riding buddy.
I mean, my brother and I are almost 5 years apart. So, I mean, it was like, it took that long for my dad to like get more involved into it because of me, because of just my interest that I had in it at such a young age, and even as a little kid, like before I could even talk, like I had my dirt bike and rev limiter sounds on my toy dirt bikes dialed in, and my dad knew like this is it, man. And it's just cool, it was like, I just knew that's all I wanted to do. And that's all I think about. And still it's the same way.
It's so funny when we had Colby Marble on, and he's unbelievable. His life, his story, if you haven't listened to the episode, it's just unbelievable.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's an awesome story.
I loved him when he's like, at one point, I could have went cowboy or I could have went dirt bike. I mean, I'm feeling the same with you. It's like, it sounds like there was a fork in the road and you started making motorcycle sounds and your dad knew he had one on the line. Yep. Let's go. My riding buddy's coming. This is awesome.
Yep. That's exactly that was his words. Yeah. As my riding buddy was coming. Yeah. It's just, my dad knew, and then it was game over from there. And like I said, it was, I had property at my house in Montana. And I remember my dad built our whole house, when they first moved up here. So like we lived in the basement with like the subfloor over the top of us for like, I want to say, I don't know, a year or two. And I remember water coming through the subfloor because just the weather, in Montana and whatnot. So like we roughed it for like years. I don't even know how long we did, but I remember like going behind the bush that I've always remembered where my berm was at. And that's where we went number 1 and number 2 for years, and that's just kind of what we did. And then my dad would slowly start framing the house. And then my dad bought me a 1996 Z50. I still have it in the storage. Like I want to go through that and restore it. But I remember doing laps, or my dad would say you would just do laps and you'd go through like 3 tanks of gas a day with your pacifier and pajamas. And it was just, that was constant. And so, awesome. It was so like cool. That here and in California.
Oh, cool, man. Did you have more riding buds in Montana or California? And how did that go? Like when you were at BMC, did you get close with some of the other guys your age and ride with them out there? Or was it just with your dad,
No, I had friends and stuff like that I've always ridden with when I was younger and stuff too. But really, I mean, my dad would just take me out there and it was kind of just like the club, which is so cool about the club is you can go out there even today and as a member and you can run into somebody that, you haven't seen for a while or you see all the time and you don't even know when they're going out there, but they're out there and you're just like, you park right next to them, you go out and you go find them and then you're just on a sick trail ride, with them. So it's cool when you get to link up with people out there and like that happens all the time. But I think as like a kid, my dad really focused like his time with me. And like, I'm so grateful for that. Cause I remember my dad and I would just go out and my mom would come and, hang out and whatnot. And my brother would be, doing his own thing at home, playing video games or whatever. He just didn't really care. Like my dad would try to force my brother to come out and ride with me and, like, come on, ride with your little brother. Like, just don't sit inside all day, and stuff. Like I remember my dad getting on my brother a lot and stuff, but he just didn't love it as much as I did. And so, yeah, my dad would take just me out and my mom would come out and hang out with my brother or something. And my brother would ride for 5 minutes, but I just wouldn't want to get off the bike. It was just like, let's go, dad. Let's go, dad. Let's go, dad. Like, and I just love it, man. Like there's awesome. It's just been my life, man. I'm grateful, man. My dad is the true guy that has molded me to be the person that I am with just the hard work and motivation, into not giving up and literally, working your butt off. And even just, he worked with me on stuff in the hills that I don't think a lot of guys would think about when their kids are that young. And my dad would really take his time with me and like, hey, I want you to do this. Like don't be scared. Don't fear this. Like I'm here. Like I'll go up there and help you. You know what I mean? And so like, I always felt like I could do it because my dad was there. And like, that's who I've always looked up to, riding with. And he took me out ever since, I was 3 or 4 years old riding all the way back in the BMC, with my dad. And I'm sure other guys were like, holy crap, what's the little kid doing back here? Like,
I'm glad to hear that because I was wondering how the stories were going to go with Todd because I thought one way he was going to be right there with you. The other way is he was going to take you to the back corner and then it was up to you to find your way back and he was gone. I didn't know which way it was going to go.
No. Dude, when you play a ride with my dad, even to this day, like he's the most fun, entertaining dude you'd ever ride with. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like he's a different guy like not to get off subject here and go on this, but like my dad's a whole different guy when it comes to race day. Like he's not himself. He doesn't ride like himself at any hill climb I've ever been at. Like even when he's done good, like I'm like, dude, I know you have more in you, you know what I mean? And he's like, dude, I don't know what my deal is, man. And I'm like, dude, I always tell him this, even to this day, like treat it like a trail ride. And he's like, all right. And he doesn't. It's just,
I'm going to say right now,
so
without saying anything, first ballot Hall of Famer is your dad riding down the hill. He'll ride down anything. He scares the hell out of me all the time. Doesn't matter if it's a ledge, whatever. Boom, right down. I'm like, he is fearless about coming down stuff.
He's mastered that since day one, chasing cows or something down the hills. I don't know what it is, but dude, he's just like, there's no fear going down for him, dude. It's wild.
It was one of my first Great Americans that I raced a big bike on, and I got stuck like halfway up the hill or something, and it was my Bandit, and it was just in a weird, like just obviously just like the most awkward crash ever. And I just still remember Todd just picking my bike up. I think the handlebars were like, it was like low sided on the hill. Yeah. And he just like picks the bike up and like pivots the whole thing around his body and then side saddles it down the hill until he can get it back to me. I'm just like, how the hell can you do this? It was like still that whole memory just burned in my brain because I was like, there's no way we can get my bike off this. And Todd just picks it up like it's no problem. It just makes me look like a fool.
It's wild. That guy can just pull some stuff out of his hat. It's wild. I'm not kidding you guys. There's been so many multiple times. And speaking of that, like not to, go on and on about it, but there's so many times on my Bandit. It was my first open bike, right? Like I was on that thing at 15 or 14 years old, my Bandit 1200 that my dad bought me when I was in high school. And we'd go out to the BMC and he's like, all right, man, like I want you to point and shoot up this, like this hill, and there's a pretty good wall on the top. And I remember just being so freaked out, but then I was like, I'm going to do it. Like I'm not going to back out. Like I'm going to do it. My dad's like, I'll help you if you don't make it, like, and this, I'm like 15 years old, like, and I'm small anyways. Right. And so I just was thinking like, if I don't make it, then what, and so next thing you know, like I hit this hill at the BMC, one of the hills by the Great American to the left, and they're short and steep. And he's just like, dude, just give it all it's got. I want to hear this thing. Just open that thing up. You'll float right over the top. I was like, all right. And like, I was confident I was going to go over, but something happened on the bottom. I kind of got out of shape and the hill was like, it was just, really dry conditions or something. And I like, got all sideways and I kind of shut it down and coasted and then laid it down. And I remember looking down and I was just like, I'm going to die. Like, this isn't good. And so my dad was just sitting there on the tailgate with a beer hanging out. And he's just like, good job, son. That was awesome. And I was like, Dad, I can't move. Like, I'm going to die. And it was so freaky because my Bandit was so heavy that it stuck into the hill. And I was just like, I can't get off the hill. I don't want to move. Like, I'm thinking of like, I'm going to actually die because like it's gnarly hill. Right. And so my dad's like, all right, I'll be right up. So he comes up or runs up the hill or whatever. He didn't even have a bike with him that day. And he comes and grabs his bike and I like slide down the hill and I'm like almost on the edge of crying because I was just so freaked out, right? My dad, I remember looking up the hill and he grabs his bike and he like pivots the Bandit and the flipping motors, hangs out a mile on those things. So he like tilts the motor on the side of the hill and literally like bulldogs this thing around and just takes it all the way down the hill. And he's laying on his butt. And I remember him side saddling this thing and taking it all the way down the hill to the bottom, wipes the dust off, pats the seat, like looks up at me, and he's just like points at the seat. And I was like, did that just happen? And he's like, all right, round 2, let's go. You got 2 runs. Like, it's just always like that with my dad.
Oh my God.
Even trail riding, it would happen just like, it was just such a normal thing that would happen with my dad. It was just like the craziest stuff would just happen like that, but
I got to think when you're in that 14 years old, 13 years old range, there's got to be days where you wonder, did my dad get bit by like a radioactive spider? Does he have something that other people, because there's just something about your dad that he can do that shit. And I think it's just, he's got so much talent, in bikes and so much confidence. It's amazing watching him do that. Scares the hell out of me, but it's fun watching him do that stuff. So.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, dude, to be honest. Like I'm so thankful. And he's been a great dad. And just even at work, man, my guy just does circles around me and he's 57 years old, man. And it's wild. I'm like, Dad, how are you like this, dude? Like, you are so
okay.
much
So
more
here's
built than I am.
here's a thought that I've had. If the internet was around when your dad was, early 20s, and he saw the video of those crazy bastards racing that wheel of cheese, he would have went there and won, right?
Oh,
Todd
dude.
would have won that
Yep.
hands down.
Yep.
He would have been an international cheese wheel catching superstar, wouldn't he have been?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. I think of fourth beer pin with my dad. Like, I constantly think of that page. I'm like, dude, that should be my dad. Like, he should be running that page.
We finally found out who it was.
Or what?
Teyler.
But I think of that. I'm like, dude, if my dad actually knew what social media was, like, this would probably be it.
Yes,
that would be
crazy
stuff.
Oh man,
just super random stuff. Like, that's totally him. He just got a Facebook, and it's funny because he's like, dude, he's showing me all these different reels and like memes and stuff I don't think he's ever seen before. And he's just like, dude, this is so funny. I love it.
It's like 8 months old.
Sometimes we're at break at work and he's just like scrolling on Facebook. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me right now? Random stupid fail videos and stuff.
Right. Oh man, that blows your mind. Yeah, no, it blows your mind.
That's been the lately though. It's been hilarious.
When did you start being a BMC member, Austin? When did you first? Where were you when you were first a member?
Man. So I was under my mom and dad's membership until I was 18, and then basically it's if you go to college, you can still be under your parents and stuff like that. Membership, but I never did. So I think I've been a member for, gosh darn, I should know this, but I think I've been a member for about 10 years now.
Okay, awesome. I know your dad.
On my own membership. Yeah.
Right. But your dad has told me he's a life member, and that's so freaking.
My dad's a lifer, and I started with my dad. So, I mean, yeah, almost my whole entire life, to be honest. Yeah. Yep. Ever since I was starting to ride with my dad, he joined in 2000 or 01 is when my dad joined.
Okay. Wow. Amazing. Well, dude, your life, that's such a tiny, small sample. We never talked about you jumping the FedEx truck. We haven't talked about any of the other crazy things, and we're really hoping that we can entice you at some point to come back and we just want to try to get as many stories of your life as we can. But this week we got some big topics, and we were thinking I might be taking an early break here and coming back because there's a lot of stuff, because we want to talk about. Dude, you're an ambassador for Suzuki. This is just an epic thing. You've worked so hard. We got to talk about that. We want to talk about you and the machine going to a rut. Hopefully you're both going. We gotta see what the machine's thinking. Fingers crossed there. And then there's a thing that I really want to talk about is talking about the BMC membership. Dude, I want to give you your flowers. The Big Sky, you and Ty Cat, we got to talk about how you guys have just been killing it. That event is pushing up to one of the best events of the year because of the talent, the hill layout. Everything is freaking money there. We got to talk about that. We want to give you all your flowers. But can you just hold on? Let's take an early break because we got so much. Once we get into this, we're never going to be able to take a break. And this sponsor, I don't know if you heard of them, Austin, ATG, they come after you. If they don't get their time, they're mean. They get real nasty. But can you hang on for a break for us?
Absolutely.
A minute. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got so much to talk about with the man himself, Simplify. Listen to this. Be right back.
Against the Grain Design and Print is proud to announce its partnership with Find the Line. Against the Grain works with clients to build their business and racing goals through the design and production of premium stickers and decals. We offer one-of-a-kind subscriptions for a flat monthly fee that can save you hundreds of dollars. Custom mailers, white label printing, motocross graphics, and anything else you can think of, we have you covered. It's time to print your passion. Visit atgdesign.co or email sales@atgdesign.co.
Hey there, Find the Line listeners. We will always be looking for partnerships for Find the Line. Please email findthelinepod@gmail.com to see how we can work together to grow your brand. Once again, that's findthelinepod@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to it.
Woo! Oh man, ATG Design. What I saw was our boys in France slapping those sweet ass USA Motoclimb stickers. I saw a couple on some of those big French wheel fenders. So sick. Seeing those guys over there. Congratulations, Thomas Jolly in Lebresque taking the win. Then John Wolfson. Then our very own Petey Krinich. And then the Steed, Logan Mead. Good job, boys. Killed it over there. But we're coming back. We're with Superfly and just been dying to get this story. But you've been working so long, Austin. Suzuki, you and Matt have been so good about having a Suzuki team. And here you are, an ambassador for Suzuki. Can you kind of give us a little bit of how that road went and where you're at?
Yeah, it's definitely been a long time coming to get to be where I'm at in my shoes with Suzuki. But man, I would say it was a couple years ago at least. I was talking with Matt, and at the time I was riding for High Tech Motorsports Yamaha, and through our local dealership here in Billings, Montana. And at the time, I mean, I was riding for them, and you know, it was all good, and everything was great. And that's actually how I met my mechanic and everything. So a lot landed into my lap there at High Tech. So I got to give a lot of credit to High Tech and the crew there and everything to awesome. Kind of get me going there. But it was at that point where I was riding Yamahas. I had a Yamaha 450. I think it was 2016, 2017, and then I had a 470 built, and that was by Dan Matsunaga, my current mechanic that was working in the back in High Tech then. And so anyways, I mean, I had these sweet Yamahas, and Dan was taking his time and getting these things dialed in for me. And I built a really cool relationship with Dan, the man. And we really just jived from the first day when he built my first bike and everything. And really, I mean, the 450 was really basic build, but it was just something that we really, what was cool about the program with Dan was just like how he was so precise with suspension and gearing and all that stuff. And really it was just like the basics. Like I didn't have a lot of money and support to like put into a motor to just try, different things out, right. and different, cams and all this different stuff. So it was like, we're just start with the basics, race fuel, all this stuff. So it really just kind of was that. And it started, it was great. I had great results with it. And then we built the 700 bike and then ran those for about 2 years. And then I was with Matt Musgrove, and it was at that time where I was like, man, like I had a GSXR 750, and I always had Gixxer engines for big bikes, right? So yep. It was kind of always that thing where it was like, man, I don't want to switch, because we thought about building an R1 with Dan, okay. And to make the fleet basically just all the same, right? Like parts, just branding, sponsors, like all this stuff. Because like if we're gonna do it as a race team, with High Tech, we want to try to get as much out of it as we can to bring OEM like all these different sponsors to make this race team complete. And so that was like kind of a thought that we had with it, but it wasn't really going to necessarily work out or be right then and there. So I talked with Matt Musgrove and in California when I was spending a winter down there, and it was really something that we were driving somewhere to go ride or film somewhere, and we just had like this hour conversation driving, and it was like, what if like you just switch to one brand and we try this, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and it was kind of like a hard decision and a hard kind of topic.
Yeah, I bet.
Let's do it like right now. Like I'll sell my 450 and 700 bike, and I'll ride Yamaha, so it was kind of something that we've been kind of pondering on for like a while.
I know watching the transition, and you were killing it on those Yamahas.
I
remember talking to Dan. You roll that Zook out. Yeah. And I go to Dan, and I'm like, what? And I was like, what's going on here? This is way before Kickstart Kenny, And you were the leader of that. And then Dan's like, man, he's not going half-ass. He's going the whole way. And he's like, it's a good bike. And you came out, bam, extremely competitive right away. And it was, I mean, that's when I was like, this is your teammate, you and Dan. I mean, I didn't know him at all when you were on the Yamahas, but when I saw you going full Zook, and I was like, it just, something clicked with you. It was really fun to watch that transition. That was cool as hell.
Yeah, it definitely was like the puzzle piece to make, fit for my race program. And really it was just having that extra support and him always kind of asking me like about the bike and stuff. Like I never, like, I don't think a lot of people have that when they go to races, or like they don't necessarily have that guy to just constantly ask them like, hey dude, like what if I did this to the shock? What if I did this? What if we put a different, heavier spring on the rear? Like, it's just like all this stuff you don't really necessarily think about all the time, right? Like we just want to go out and race and ride, right?
I've said the example a couple times, and to have somebody with that much intelligence just to give you 100% of their attention. And like Logan years ago, when Junior Jackson was mechanicking for him, he was out at the Big Sky. Junior saw a video, called Logan, and I think he told you, what did he tell you, to do a couple turns on the spring and clickers or something?
Something like that, I'm sure.
And it was just like better. And I was like, son of a bitch. Like that is killer, like, because at the time Logan was super young and he wasn't the machine yet. And he needed somebody with that experience just to kind of give him that nudge to help. And you and Dan, now you can work together, and Dan's extremely intelligent, extremely detailed. And how freaking awesome is it to have that in your corner, right?
Dude, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And like I said, I mean, if you guys want somebody on here and you guys got some time, like I would recommend having Dan on. He's got some good stories, and just his past and like where he grew up and went to school for mechanics and stuff like that. It's truly it's awesome. I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize like, the things that where he's come from to where he's at now. And he's wrenched on Cole Seeley's backup mechanic, and was good friends with Cole Seeley's dad and whatnot when he was racing 250Fs, and he would just rebuild his practice bikes all the time when they were clapped out. And so, I mean, it's just stuff that like, Dan just has the know-how with so many of these things. And it's just so cool to where I can literally like come with some frustration to this guy, Dan, and take it out on him. Like, dude, this bike doesn't feel right. It's not balanced. It's not, it's kicking me. It's doing this. And he's just like, all right, I'll take care of it. Like, we're going to try this. Monday, we could go out and try this after work, So it just was so like cool to have that guy in my corner when I needed him, And I feel like when I did meet him at High Tech from riding Yamahas, it was like a blessing, because like I was starting to get old enough to like, I knew I needed somebody like that in my corner. Right. I knew like I've been hill climbing for so long. Right. We all have, but like when you need something particularly, and you can go and ask somebody like Dan that has a source for it, it's like it's awesome. It's like it's so it's
amazing. Then there's not that many people like Dan out there. And it's so cool that you have someone like that in your corner. But then now going to Suzuki, like I remember seeing when you went, I think you and Matt went and toured like Yoshimura, or I can't say it. How do you say it? Yoshi or whatever.
Yeah, Yoshimura.
Yoshimura in California. And I remember you guys were always plugging. And I think, was this before you got any assistance? Were you just showing them that you could be a voice at this point? Like when you were doing some tagging, doing some stuff, were you just trying to get a relationship, or had they contacted you?
No, so really a lot of that started with Matt, honestly. Okay. Matt, like, I almost want to say like even before I was like, had more support that I have now, and like just my relationship with those guys, it was more like when I was starting with the transition, like I was still, I had Yoshimura's on my Yamahas towards the very end. But like when I went to the Suzuki, when I bought that RMZ 450 from High Tech, that's when it was like that. At that time, it was more like Matt was like, okay, dude, like you switched to Suzuki. We need to start branding more with these companies like Yoshimura. Like these are who support the OEMs. So that's kind of where the main focus went from you know, obviously get your local support, that, you know, get what you can get from local support, you know, from where you're from.
Right.
But also you need to brand yourself with these guys and let them know like, hey, I'm going to be loyal, and I'm going to spend the time to do what I need to do to sell you pipes, or to make your pipes look good, to get them on the podium, whatever I can do, you know, for your product. So Matt Musgrove was really the guy that put that into me more to work harder at that, because Matt saw that before I feel like anybody else saw that. Like I honestly probably wouldn't have jumped forward as quick as it maybe looked like from like your guys' standpoint with me, but like it was Matt. Like Matt was hounding me of like, dude, I'm going to help you put proposals together, resumes together. And he's so good at that kind of stuff that, like I said, man, it's a blessing. Like having Matt in my life and having Dan in my life, like having these guys, like it just orchestrated out to be like this crazy, like I was getting these deals, and, and, you know, I was starting to grow my relationship with these guys. I tagged them from the pipe factory, you know, Yoshimura in SoCal. And we made the extra effort when we went down there to film to always see sponsors. And Matt was the one to help push me to go do that. Is like, hey, if we're going to go film in SoCal, we're going to go ride a track, we're going to look up where, you know, who's the closest sponsor, and we'll drive and go see them. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of so cool. We made that a priority, and obviously it's paid off.
For sure. And with your relationship with Suzuki, I was trying to think back, and I was like, there had to be like a turning point where like, they're like, we now we see this guy, now we do it. And here's what I think it is. This is my guess. Okay. Is if I sold parts and bikes, you know what I want? I want them at Hard Enduro. And that clip of you going ape shit up that rock freaking quarry on your 250, was that it? Was it like Suzuki's like, sign that MF right now? When they saw that, were they like on the phone with you? We're like, you could just sell us 10,000 pipes. Let's go. Was that the moment, Austin, where you got the phone call?
Man, I honestly don't know, because I always wonder what Suzuki thought of that. But then hear me out on this. Like, I'm going to jump forward here. Like, I went to a RM Army boot camp, which was like a invitational, like sign up on an email and go to Suzuki. It's a ride day basically. And I don't want to jump into this and give you all the details before, you know, I'm before I even start the story with Suzuki, but those guys, I'm not kidding you. And we're talking the HEP team, and the owner and everybody was literally, I mean, Larry Brooks and everybody was there. They were just like, you're the crazy Hillclimb guy. Like, we see your clips all over the internet all the time. You're always on a Suzuki. And dude, honestly, like, to me, I was just like, there's hope. Like,
and it's working. It's working, right?
You know, like, I did not expect him to say those words, like, out of his mouth. I was like, what? Like, it felt like a dream. It really did. Like, I was just going to go, you know, connect and make that relationship and shake their hands, you know. And I'm not a big moto guy. Like, I'm going to probably look like a squid. I can do one fast lap in front of the guys and throw a whip, but then the next lap, I'm not going to be able to hang on. So it was like, you know, do what you can do, you know, on the front stretch, and then take a rest on the back before you come around the next lap, so you're not all over the place. But I don't want to jump into that right now, because there's so much before that. That's good, you know, Suzuki. But they definitely saw that video, and they definitely told me about it, which was super cool. And I was not expecting them to bring it up.
I mean, just to validate, because like with you, all the social influence that you've had, you probably don't get a lot of like immediate feedback. It feels like there's always a little bit of a delayed burn to that. And how good, how validating is it where you get that, or it's like they see it, like you've put the effort, you've done the work, and they're watching. That is awesome, man. Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just, honestly, there's really no secret. And like I said, if I could give anybody advice with it, it's just be yourself and have fun. Like, cool. Like, honestly, cool. Just go out and film. Like, just go out and have fun. Yeah. Like, you're with your buddies and you're 12 years old playing out on a dirt pile. Like, make that, you know, as you go out and ride with your buddies next week. It's just, you don't have to. I think a lot of people overthink social media, and you know, you have to look a certain way. The clip's got to be, you know, a certain quality and all this stuff. And I'll say, like, half of my videos that have gone viral, more than 1 million views, has been the most raw, dumb clips that I would have never thought that would have got over 100 views. And so, post anything. It doesn't matter what quality it is, or if it's a VHS tape or whatever, like you don't know. And I don't think people will ever know if you don't post it. They'll never know. And that's kind of my outlook on it now. And that's what I would tell anybody is just don't overthink it. Like, you are who you are. And
Right.
honestly, we all come from different places, but we all love the same thing. And
Right.
that's what we have to show. And
Right.
honestly, that's all I've been doing. And hanging it out there is just part of what I love to do. And there's nothing to it, because I know I've seen Logan and Luke and Joel hanging out on a dirt bike too. And it just blows my mind some of the times where I'm like, crap, I got to try to do that now, and it doesn't work out. So no, it's just, that's what it's all about, man. Just have fun and just show it. Show the world how much you love bikes. Honestly.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's awesome to see what you and Matt have kind of started and brought into Hillclimb. And there's very few people putting in the effort to really pursue anything on social media, and definitely nobody at your level. But even the little gains that we can get for the sport of just people that post a little bit, like we've shared some cool stories that I've had, and I do nowhere near what you do, but still more than probably 99% of the rest of hill climbers. But
yeah, you're still crushing it, dude.
a little bit of social media and posting, it goes a long ways, and it can make a real difference to the sport. And it's been cool to see what you've been able to gain from it, and some of the opportunities that have come for you, and some of them that have come for me through social media. There's a lot. Yep. And then just what Matt has talked to me, I'm sure he had the same conversation with you, but it was one October in 2017 or 18, and he's basically called me up. He's like, get your shit together and start posting once a week and figure it out. And I'm like, all right.
Yep.
So I just started that, and started slow and small. And it's like, it's pretty, not that I've built anything crazy, but it's pretty cool to see what you can build over time, just being consistent. And obviously, and have benefited off the fruits of your labors for that stuff too.
Yeah, for sure. And I got to give you credit back too, man. Like, I think what you've been doing and your relationship with Buell, like, I think to have a manufacturer involved with the sport, like, that doesn't come easy, man. Like that doesn't just happen. Like it takes the right guy, it takes the right people to build that, and to actually, believe in each other to grow it and to make it happen. Like, it doesn't happen overnight. So like what I've been seeing and everything with you and Buell, dude, like that, like, massive kudos, dude. And I'm stoked, and hope you keep that thing rolling with Buell, and I hope they keep hooking you up even more and more. And honestly, dude, like, I hope one day, like, honestly, you never know, man. Like, if they put you on a salary for a year for hill climbing, like, how sick would that be? And
yeah, exactly.
That's my mindset is, all right, like, if I can get bikes, if I can get, support to go to these races, like, what's the next step? Like, what's the end goal here? What's my next goal? And so, right. Like, we got to start thinking ahead. Like, let's get some salary. Like, can you imagine getting a salary from a manufacturer, like, for our sport? Yeah. Like, dude, that's like a pipe dream right there. For me to even think that is crazy, right? I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to this is just rolling their eyes, but like, you just never know. And a lot of it's been like, honestly, I see so much with Suzuki, and like, I want to get into that with you guys here soon too, because I feel like I'm jumping ahead with all of this, but I do believe that there is something there with Suzuki. And like I said, nothing's guaranteed in life, but hey, if you don't continue to work your butt off and believe in yourself and put the work in, like, you never know. And that's what I wake up thinking every day. Like, I got to put the work in. If I'm not putting the work in today, like, it's not going to happen. Like, you got to accept that it's not going to happen. So, obviously I'm learning too every day. And even on social media, dude, I'm not perfect, or I don't have it figured out by any means. And I'm being honest, but, dude, post it as if it was like your job. Every day you go to work at a certain time, make a post. You go home and you get product in the mail, make a post. Like, it's not that hard. We're so distracted by so many things, and I'm guilty of it too. Like, you come home and you're so tired, but we're still scrolling on our phone. We could be posting a video and making a gear sponsor stoked, and we decide just to, swipe it for a bit and then crack a beer or something, So it's like, it's really just focusing and like really diving into like, hey, what is your goal here? And like, as I've gotten older, man, like, I'm 29 now, and I've been climbing for a lot of years, and I don't hit every race anymore and stuff like that. And we can talk more about that too. But it's just like my mindset's so different now because I've been there and I've done that now for so long that I realize that if I continue to do the same thing over and over again, like there's something else that's going to suffer. And if I believe that there is something else there with these brands, I believe that there's something there with Suzuki that I don't want to miss out on that opportunity. And so that's why, maybe I'm backing down with the Hillclimb stuff, and focusing on the adventure stuff because, you never know. One day I could get a salary from Suzuki and be riding instead of going to work, busting my ass on a trench, digging a trench for 8 hours. You know what I mean? And I could be on an adventure ride in the mountains of Montana somewhere, getting paid to ride my bike. So that's kind of what I'm like.
Yeah,
dude,
literally pinching yourself.
Yeah,
right.
So it's out there. There's opportunities. They're out there, and there's people got money, man. It's out there. So it's just how bad do you want it? Honestly, it's the bottom line. And I'm guilty of it too, man. Like I could be doing such a better job, but no, it's cool. But
there's so many opportunity, but people have to put in, and that's where hill climbers suffer, is putting in the work to take advantage of those. It's like every fall for me, when the race season's over, I spend, probably 8 to 10 hours building a new resume, updating it, getting pictures, collecting the media that I need to, and then sending it out to every company that I either want to be sponsored by or have been sponsored by or want to renew. And it's like, I don't get it. We're small fish in a big pond, but I don't get,
for sure,
relatively speaking, a whole lot from these companies. But it's like, man, giving a few updates through the season, I get a parts allowance through Enduro Engineering that they just hook me up with free parts up to a certain amount, or you get half off price on chains and half or free gear or a half off on helmet. It's like that stuff is what makes racing possible. And if you put in a little bit of time, which costs you nothing, you can get an $800 helmet for $400, and you can get $500 worth of chain for $250. It's like that pays for a lot of freaking fuel to get to the races and a lot of damn entry fees,
Exactly.
And it's just like, and then the more people that do that, the more legit the sport looks. And we just need to focus on it. It's like it sucks doing it. And I hate doing it, and I hate asking people for stuff, but I also like buying a $120 chain for $60 when I need one too.
Yeah. Nice. Makes the day better.
Exactly.
Austin, so then with Suzuki, what is your official position right now? Are you like an official ambassador for Suzuki, or what? Have they contacted you, or do you have any workings with them, or where are you at?
Yeah, so pretty much a factory Suzuki off-road ambassador is what I am for him.
Nice.
And actually, I'm working on a contract with one of the North American reps right now, and it's through Suzuki Cycles corporate. So I mean, it's legit.
Woo!
And yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So yeah, basically a little bit of the down low. Like it's basically they're helping out with bikes. So I got a adventure bike, the V-Strom 800 DE, which is their big adventure bike. And then I don't know if you guys saw, I went to Portland, Oregon to go do the debut on the DRZ 4S, which is a new DRZ 400
Cool. Yeah.
Suzuki that they just came out with. And then now they're going to be hooking up with the 450. So basically they're giving me pretty much almost their whole off-road bikes.
Nice
bike line. So yeah,
sick. Wow.
It's and I'm still finalizing that with them. But it's still in the works, but it's gonna happen. And so basically I want to back up though, because this is crazy, like how with my Yamaha through High Tech, like how it transitioned into Suzuki. I didn't realize, like, okay, so like they had Suzukis there because they were a Suzuki dealership. And this is when Sean Whitcomb took over the shop at High Tech, right?
Yep.
And so I came to the conclusion with I was at the crossroads of making the decision of switching all my bikes to Suzukis or Yamahas or whatever it was going to be at that time. And I kind of was like, dude, let's go Suzuki. It's different. Like right. I'm ready for a different flavor. I'm ready to look at a different front fender. Like, let's just send it and see what happens. So, and real quick, like, I don't mean to keep backing up, but like Matt and I what Logan, like to backtrack a little bit, like when he had that hard conversation with you, they honestly, and this is a crazy story because I was not expecting this, but Matt and I were driving, and I think it was from the year from Brick Mine to Bay City. And it was my first year at Bay City that year. And I don't remember what year that was, but Matt literally was so serious with me in the car. I literally was like wanting to throw up because I thought he was kidding, but he was so serious that he was like getting heated with me. And I'm like, Matt, are you kidding me right now? Like he was like, dude, and it was like the most bro serious conversation we've ever had, which was the greatest thing that we needed for each other. But like Matt, like honestly, you guys, like he got so serious with me. He's like, dude, I really kind of need to know if I need to dig deeper with you on your program to make this happen. And if we're going to do it, like this is the time to do it. Right. And he's like, if you're not ready, then tell me, like, I need an answer soon. And I just remember like, it was silent, dude, for like, it felt like an hour, dude, in that truck. I was sitting there like, dude, how do I get out of this truck? It's like, he put me on the spot so hard. And at first it came off like jokingly, but he was serious. He's like, no, dude, I'm actually serious. And dude, we're like good friends and We've been working with each other for a while, like filming, but like Matt was wanting to know like where my mindset was, like what my goals were. Like he was just wanting to be completely honest with me. And it was like the most serious conversation. And like, I looked at him like, dude, I'm all in, man. Like, let's go. And I was like, I might need to talk to my mom and dad. That's what I remember saying. Cause like, I didn't know like what to say right away, but I was like, I might have to ask permission from my mom and dad before I say like, I'm in for sure. But like, dude, it was just like one of those like moments in my life where I was just like, I'm getting called out right now.
It sounds like the conversation is like where he's asking you if you're going to go all in, but what he's really telling you is I'm all the fucking way in right now. I need you with me, right? Like he was just telling you like, I'm in, like you're coming with, or you're either on the bus or you're off the bus, right?
Yeah. It was seriously like that feeling. And he was, I think it was just from him sweating and following me around filming like every weekend, making this, the Superfly web series and stuff like that. When we started that, like he worked his butt off filming that. And I was just riding around and like doing my thing, having fun on a dirt bike. And he would just document it and film everything. And we had so much fun doing that. But I think it was like that realization that Matt had in his own mind and where he was at, where it was like, hey, am I wasting, like, I'm not wasting my time with you, but like, is this going to be value? Like, am I spending my valuable time towards something that is going to be worth something down the road with this and with you? Like, are we on the same page? And so it was something that we never talked about before. Cause like, I just was going with it and things were great. It was exciting. Like we started something that was the first in our sport and things were great. You know, like we hit it off and Matt's my best friend to this day, man. And it was like one of those moments I'll never forget. We still talk about it. I was like, dude, remember that serious conversation? He's like, yeah, you still in, bro? I was like, dude, I'm in, bro. I'm contacting Suzuki. Like everything is good right now. You know, he's always checking in with me and but he's always been that guy. Like it's almost like he's been a manager for me with my program. And like, I'm so thankful for that because
that's cool.
Honestly, dude, I don't know if I would have fallen off and like, lost not interest, but like, like I don't know where I would have been if it wasn't for Matt really like digging in and asking me these deep questions that like I needed to like, you know, say and like, dude, like believe in yourself. Like you can do it. Like I've seen you ride a dirt bike. You're amazing. Like, you know, it's just so cool for him to like actually put me on the spot like that. Cause I never would have thought I would have ever been in a conversation like that, but it was more so he was looking after me for the future and really asking me, are you serious about this? Because if you are, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to spend my time filming you and brand, like I want to push you and make you to where you can go on and get a energy drink deal or whatever and have a different manager. Like that's my goal with you. And when he told me that, it was just like, dang, he is so serious right now. And it just built built more of this like self-belief in me with my program. And Matt has been like, he's helped mold that to be like, alrighty, dude, like you got this. don't give up. Like, you know how the sport is, like, it's so small. Like Logan was saying, it was just like, I thought of that. Like, I'm like, dude, there's nothing in our sport that hasn't already happened or already isn't it. Like, you know, it already exists the way it is and it's not going to change. But I think that's just how we think. Yep. And we're so stuck in the rut that we all think that way when we shouldn't be thinking that way, because that's just the way we think as humans. You know, like we always think of like, you know, oh, poor me, or poor this, or why isn't our sport growing? Well, it's like, dude, like we got to keep going. Like we can't just sit back and watch it grow, you know. And Matt put that into me more with my own program, and that's when he was like, when we go down south, when we go film, because a lot of your sponsors are down there that I've been helping contact you with and stuff over email. And he's been building these portfolios and stuff like that for me and all these resumes. And he's like, dude, if we're going down there, we're stopping by 3 of these guys. Like they're right there. And I remember like being nervous, dude, like, okay, like, yeah, we're going into Yosh and they don't know who the heck I am. But that's what started it, dude. Like that's what started the relationship with those guys. Yep. Is actually taking the time to stop in, shake their hands, introduce each other, whether you're getting 40% off on a pipe, like, you know, here we are now and getting a lot more than that. And so Matt's really helped me strive to put more extra work and effort into believing in that, you know, I'm worth more than what I'm thinking in my own head, or maybe just wrapped around with their sport, you know, how small it is or something, you know, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's crazy to think, because I'm sure Logan, you think that, and Joel and Luke, but like it's just it's a tough sport. But I feel like every sport's tough. You look at pro motocross in these private tiers, like I think these guys work their absolute butts off a lot harder than most of the factory guys. I'm not telling them they don't train, like they train just as hard, but like they have it so nice because the luxury of being a factory rider, you get the best equipment, you get the best semis, you get the best comfort, like you're so set up. And so it's like, that should be our motivation. That should be our, like, we should strive for that in our sport, you know?
Right. And we're going to talk to more disciplines on the podcast. We wanted to branch out even from motorcycles, and like, whether it's tractor pulling or demolition derby or whatever, it's like the amount of effort that goes into whatever your thing is to what you get back. It's like Hillclimb's got a good game there. Like, you know, like you can build an open bike and it can be competitive for a long time. And it's like, you have to keep improving it. But it's like you talk to people that, you know, they'll spend the entire winter building their, you know, mod snowcross machine, and that might not make it a few races. You know, it's like it's like it's insane with Suzuki. And it's just cool. No. We're once I said, we're hoping we're going to entice back, but it sounds like that's a little bit of an untold story yet. But it's so cool that what the message we want to get out is the work that you've been putting in. It's starting to come back, and we're going to have to touch back with you, Austin, and get more on the story, maybe this winter or later this summer. But there's a lot of big topics that we got to get to yet. The next one, France. Like, how cool, a Rhett. We're hoping both you guys can make it. How excited are you, Austin, for a Rhett?
Man, I'm excited to be back to France. It's just so fun to race over there, and just the experiences that I've had over there, and you know, winning La Bresse the first time when I went over there in 2017 with Matt. Man, that was such a pivotal moment in my racing career, to go overseas and represent my country and then win it the first time that I went over there.
I remember when you were going over there, I think I saw you at the Great American. Was that the week after La Bresse or whatever?
Yep.
And I didn't know who you were. I just went up and I'm like, dude, thank you for going. I had no idea. You didn't know who I was. I just was following along. And I'm like, thank you so much for going there and representing. That was just like the coolest effing thing that I had seen since I had kind of got into the professional hill climb. And it opened my eyes to a whole new world. I mean, it's had to inspire you, Logan.
Yeah, it was sweet. Actually, like when Teyler went there, or when Austin went there, it was the first year that I was doing the NAHA series, and it was the same weekend as Pendleton, Oregon, and Todd, your dad, was doing it too. And it was sick because like right away in the morning, Jamie got on the loudspeaker and he's like, we're just getting we just got confirmation now that Austin Teyler won the 2017 Le Mans Impossible. I was like, dude, that's another
sick.
thing that's like just burned in my brain of like him coming on the loudspeakers and saying that. And like, obviously I knew you and had been racing with you for a long time, but it was just freaking cool because nobody had gone over there since like, I think it was 08 or 09 when Beers did. And they were kind of the first ones in a long time since the early 2000s. So realistically, outside of their one early trip, you're the first guy to go over there and do anything for, I don't know, probably 15 years, honestly. And it's like, it's just freaking awesome that it happened.
It was cool. Like Matt had talked about how you guys had all worked that out, but how did this work with you guys in a RET? How did this all form with the super team? The super machine, I think is how I said, is going to go to a RET. How did the super machines coming in? How did you guys get contacted? How did this all start?
So I don't know about Austin, or if he has a different story than me, he might, but I had been talking to this Diego Mendoza for like months on and off, and he had messaged me and he's like, you want to come to a RET this year? I'm like, yeah, of course I want to go to a RET this year. And we're going back and forth a little bit. And then he finally was like, yeah, we're going to have you out and cover some of the expenses. We just need to know you're serious. And the club messaged me, and I think it was Diego or the club, I don't remember. They said, is there anybody else interested? And I know Matt had talked to me a little bit, and I was like, yeah, definitely get a hold of Austin Teyler. And then I don't know, maybe your conversation started the same way as me and you told them to invite me, but at least that was my version of it.
Yeah, it was a little different on my end. I just got a DM from the Le Mans Impossible or whatever, a RET, the Instagram page, and I was like, what the heck? And so I opened it up and it was just like, I can't remember exactly what the name was on it when it started, but I'd have to look it up on my phone. But yeah, it was just like this big old message and stuff. And it was pretty much how, we want to invite you, to, the Hillclimb, August, 15th, 16th, 17th, and Logan Cipala is going to be guest, with you from USA and stuff. So that's kind of like what I first got, was that, you were already in the message with those guys and stuff like that. So I don't know, I probably reached out to you first, and then, but then Matt brought something up about this like a little while ago, and it was kind of weird because I heard about like, hey, like, would you be down to go to RET? Cause it sounds like Logan might be going and it could be you two. And I was like, really? And I was, sure. Yeah, I'll go. Like, I'd love to go hit that hill. Cause like for me, I've always looked at like all the different French hill climbs over there, because I'm like, it's a bucket list thing, of course. Like if I've been to one, like why not go to the rest of them? So a RET's been one though, man. Like a RET's just looks so gnarly, like
so crazy.
And I don't know how many people have gone over that hill, but it doesn't look like hardly anybody. And I just see bikes cartwheel off the top of that thing. I mean, it looks gnarly and steep and whatnot, but I'm excited, dude. Like, honestly, I don't know. I don't have many details about it. Like I said, it's
we're flying in blind.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I hope we just land in the right country at this point. That's all about I know, man. And I reached out to. I know I have a bike. I apparently so.
Allegedly,
I do, anyways. But yeah. I actually got. Some news dropping this week. I got some new merch, Superfly merch coming out this week. We'll be dropping it at the end of the week for that event coming up. So it'll be available for those that are going to be at Great American. So stay tuned, and they'll be dropping on my socials here soon in the next few days.
Luke, that's killer. We're going to promote the hell out of that, Austin. But Luke, I think we got to come up with a super machine logo. Don't you think? American flag, machine. Super machine. I'm seeing like maybe like a Buellzuki with some big hair. I don't know, something. We got to come up with something here. There's got to be something that we can meld this monstrosity of the U2. That'd be pretty good.
We're kind of talking over the break now. Like now that we're getting into France or the French trip, it's kind of funny how just some random guy on a moto club Arette just messaged us on Instagram. We're like, yeah, well, sure, we'll just buy $2,000 worth of plane tickets and see you there. No worries. We have no idea who we're talking to or where we're going, but all right, fly to Toulouse, France, and all right, we'll see you in August.
It's almost like you just reply with a thumbs up. That's it.
Exactly.
That's about it.
Yeah, they're just like, the messages are so funny with the language barriers because it's like, okay, are you coming? Well, yeah. Do you want me to come? Yes. Okay, I'll book flights. Flights are booked. Okay, see you then. That's it. That's all it is.
It's so short and straightforward with those guys. They just can't translate it over well. And it's just like comes out like as one line. It's just like, are you coming? Question mark.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
I can never tell if they're asking if I want to go or if I'm going to come.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, we'll just wing it.
It's so confusing.
Austin, do you know whose bike you're riding?
Yeah, I'm going to be riding John. His last name's
Logan?
DeCarole, I think.
DeCarole or whatever. I think it is. Yeah, GSXR 1000.
Yep.
Woo, nice. Has it got a big old French wheel on that unit?
It does. I think it's got a pretty big meaty tire on the back. I don't exactly know what it is from looking at the pictures and stuff. And then it's got big old like lag bolts hanging out of it. You know how those guys roll over there.
Oh man. Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be a different bike, different setup, and it's all different over there. So yeah, we'll just have to put it in the hole and hang on and see what happens, man. But it's cool. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to go to New Hill, and I hope Logan's going to be all healed up. And was bummed to hear that he got hurt, but I know he'll be back and ready to go. And yeah, I'm excited to go with Logan, man. I don't think there's anybody else that I would love to go with and compete with. And Logan's one of the top dogs in the sport, so couldn't pick a better guy to go with as a teammate.
It's just insane, though, isn't it? Like how you can go to France and you're thousands of miles away. We don't speak the same language, but the people are just like us. They're really good people. Not trying to pump up me. I'm just saying like dirt bike people. Like we're so similar from France to here. And I mean, I got lucked into being able to go there. I was just going to go mechanic for Logan, and then he hit the brick mine, took his ankle away from him, and I got to ride. And just the experience, I'll never forget it. It was unbelievable. And their bikes are so purpose built for what they do is so incredible how well they construct them to do just that. And the very first thing that I'm thinking is when I was walking out La Bresse after I got to do my 5 runs and had made memories that last forever, I'm like, what can I sell? How much money do I got to make? I want to come over here and I want to do the whole series. Can I sell enough stuff where I could build one of these badass French bikes, beg somebody to keep it in their garage, and just race the series? I'm like, that is so freaking fun. Like the spirit that they have, it's like the Great American. It's like these great clubs that we go to. You just feel it. Like everybody wants the same thing. It's so epic. I can't wait for you guys to experience Arette and come back and tell us what it's like. When it looks steep on film, that motherfucker's steep, right?
I'm almost scared about that part.
Because you look at the Great American or Freemansburg and you're like, oh, not steep, and then you go there like MFer. That's the you look at a red, and it's like that thing's steep. It's like in purpose, it's probably inverted.
When I booked the plane tickets, Morgan wanted to know about more of the trip or whatever, so I showed her some YouTube videos of the hill, and then she was like, she was scared. She's like, I don't know if you should do this.
Thanks for the confidence, wife. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, good thing I haven't showed Emily or where we're going yet.
Good. Keep it that way.
Good idea.
Until you're in the air.
Yeah. Man, so excited for both of you. I can't think of 2 people I'd rather have represent the United States, your brands, us all together. Thank you. We're going to be cheering you on in a few weeks over in France. Unfortunately, this is what happens to us. We're limited on time today because of me. Sorry, but we got it. We're going to have you back on, Austin. But one more thing I want to talk about was your involvement in running the Big Sky. Dude, you have made this event one of my favorite events of the entire year. I was not forced, but I had to miss out on it for a few years because I was chasing East, and I got to come back this year. It's only got better. The hills are unbelievable. The racing is so freaking good. And just the BMC in general, you and Tycat have been freaking crushing it. How has it been for you to be involved with promoting that race?
It's been so fun, and working with Teyler, it's been just a good time. I mean, we go way back, in school together and stuff. So, I mean, just to like, it's almost like we reconnected, later on, and we still go out and ride, when we can and when we see each other. But, as life goes on, it gets a little busy, and it's not as easy as it was when, you were in high school and you just had nothing else better to do but go ride after school. So, it's been so fun to work with Teyler, and Teyler does so much too at the event. And I don't want to take all the credit here. Like, Teyler works his butt off too, with that. And so it's been something for me that it's been actually so good for me to put focus into the promoting side of things, because it makes you think differently when you're looking at the sport as a whole, right? Like,
right.
For sure.
We get so narrow-minded when we're riding and we're racing all the time every weekend, because it's so easy to just be locked in, in one thing, and then be able to complain about something to somebody. I mean, it's as easy as it is. Like, we all do it. I'm guilty of it. But when you promote an event, and I think Logan can speak on this too, because he busts it, but at Bay City, I mean, I know you're weed whacking with a neck brace on for probably 2 weeks out there, man. And like I said, dude, like, I just respect that like crazy as I've gotten older. And honestly, a lot of people, and I think, I don't want to just speak on hill climbing, but just in dirt bikes in general, like, it's so easy to forget about those that actually do put these events on. Like, we're so grateful to have these hill climbs to attend to, and be able to compete and race and win money and race our bikes, and, have the opportunity to do that. And so, and where I'm going with this is just, I've been seeing that more and more as I've been putting myself more involved with promoting side of it. And Teyler's been fun to work with it. And we, I think this is our year 4, I think, of promoting the Big Sky, maybe 5. And really, my dad was doing it with Earhart's, and my dad and Earhart was really just wanting to find new blood, younger people to help put it on and whatnot. And so they kind of passed it down to us. They asked me, and then I connected with Teyler and just asked him straight up, like, hey, dude, you want to help promote it with me? Because, I mean, obviously you got to have a co-promoter. That's part of the rules and stuff like that at the club, just so you're not, you're not put on with everything else going on. You can have a co-promoter to help with the weight of everything going on. So I couldn't think of anybody better but Teyler, and yeah, he's committed a lot of his time and energy and effort into the Big Sky. And honestly, promoting it was scary. It was just like the first year I remember, it was like, dude, if I don't put on a good event, like, dude, I'm like, I can't be around the sport anymore, like, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because you think of it like, as it's a lot of work, and like, there's a lot of stress, and like, you go to bed the week before and you start thinking about it as you're laying in bed, and you're like, pretty soon it's 2:00 in the morning, because you're just pondering on things that you're like, did I forget this? Did I reach out to the food vendor? Did I, like, you're responsible for the whole entire event. So you're like, holy crap, like, dude, this is stressful, And I'm just thinking of, like, in my mind, as I've been engraved in my mind with growing up with the people that I've been able to be around in my life, like focus, work your butt off, like, make this thing the best event you possibly can. And so I've literally grinded so hard to put that effort in, and honestly, it wouldn't be doable.
I'm going to tell you, no, it's working, dude. Like, I just want to tell you, like, it is. And I wanted to vocalize this to you. And I was telling you before, I want you to get your flowers for this, because you and Tycat and all the members that are involved, you are crushing it so hard. And this year, the point of view that I got was, I was so lucky to be friends with Ryan Wyatt and Aaron Pearson, and I got to camp with them and their families and their kids, right? And their dads are competing. The hills are epic. The dads are coming back and they're telling their kids about the hill and the conditions. The frick, you guys nailed the water. The hill had never been more perfect ever. Aaron is so technical. Ryan is such a great rider. And they're telling their boys about it. And the boys are asking. And then they're riding on their hill. And the long burn of it is when you put an event like that, it fires up, the dads, the racers, the fans, and the kids. And you're just running everywhere there. And I'm on Snowflake. I'm going for the wall. I freaking go a little hot into it. I look over and I'm like, oh my God, Superfly's cheering me on. I'm in the air and I'm like, I'm almost dropping a tear. And I'm like, holy shit, what kind of event is this? Where I get a little out of sorts with Superfly's right there and you're cheering me on. And that spirit caught everybody. Dude, you and Tycat, you're all over the damn place. You are freaking crushing it. Those events do so much for our sport. That just carries on generationally how that goes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for you, all the members, Tycat. It is awesome. I cannot wait to go back.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all that, man. Thank you. Thank you. It's been fun and putting myself in different shoes and not racing and stuff. Obviously, for a lot of people that don't know, and wondering why I'm not racing. I haven't even raced this year at all. And it's definitely as a competitor and as much as I love the sport, like it's been hard to go and promote an event and not ride in the event, but to also watch all the content from the Motoclimb Super Series, American Hillclimb, all this stuff, and then having a Hillclimb land on my wedding. It's like, man, like it's just, it's been different for me this year. And I realize that it's okay. Like if I have to take not necessarily a whole year off, but like if I have to do what I got to do, it's all good. And I feel like a part of that sacrifice is promoting, because if I do both, like, I just don't feel like one's going to suffer from the other. Like you can only do one job. The best way you can only do one job is if you just focus on that one job. And if you're doing two different things, then, it's not going to be the same. So that's how I've looked at this year, is mainly just like, all right, I have a busy year. Like my personal life's really busy right now, and promoting and everything, and my bikes and stuff like that, like just aren't going to be ready. And the time frame and everything to get everything ready is just not going to work out, and that's totally fine. But promoting Big Sky, dude, like made it all worth it. Like, because for me to be able to put on an event that getting the feedback like from you, man, like makes it all worth it. Like it just makes me want to do the same thing next year. But obviously I want to race. But
I wanted you to race too.
It's so cool though, hearing that feedback, man. And I feel like that to me like sparks so much more, like,
well, dude, I'm like during the event, I'm like messaging back to Logan. What was I saying, Logan?
Best race ever. It's gonna get me. It's gonna get me to drop out of the East Coast and come back to Rockwell, because it sucked missing out on it. I'll tell you that.
Well,
he was so butthurt. Logan was so butthurt. I was telling him about the conditions and the hills. He was so butthurt. He wasn't there.
There's a better than zero chance I'll be at Rockwell next year.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go.
Well, we miss you, man. We miss you for sure. And like I said, man, I wanted you to be there too. And
Big Sky's just so epic. It's like, how do you not race that?
The hill's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I hear it from people all the time, like, you can't run metal in Rockwell. I'm like, well, when they water the hills, like Big Sky, you don't need it. That's the best part. You do not need it. That's so freaking awesome. Yep. When it's prepped right, it is just money. But dude, we could have a freaking 12-hour show, and we might after a rut. Okay, so I don't care. I don't care which one of you is one. I just want 1-1, 1-2 at a rut. Okay, boys, let's just let's do it. Pack those American flags. We're gonna get those super machine stickers made up at ATG, so we can be slapping some cool stickers on some French wheels. But dude, Austin, thank you for everything that you've done for our sport. Thank you for being such a positive impact on everything you touch, whether it's talking to kids, promoting events, just being that social person you are. Keep being what you are. Keep doing what you're doing. We cannot wait to see what the future brings for you and Suzuki. And dude, I am just so stoked to see you in a ret. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. And
thanks for coming.
it's cool, man. You guys starting this Find the Line podcast. It's super cool. And honestly, I mean, for the effort and time and energy it takes to do this too. I mean, this is what I feel like it's great. You know, even having the Nitro Mud podcast. And
Yeah. Hell
I think
yeah.
I think more the merrier. I think honestly, a lot of people, I don't know, like if they disagree with having 2 different Hillclimb podcasts or just 2 different podcasts in general for the sport of what we know, but I think it's great for it. And that's super cool. And what you guys are doing and digging deep into these guys' stories. I think it's cool because I definitely look forward to each episode you guys put out, and was stoked to hear that you guys were putting this thing out. And thank you guys for getting a hold of me, and hope to catch up with you guys soon. And Logan, get healed up, man. Bummed to see you in a neck brace and, you know, have your head point straight up right now. But keep your head up still. But get healed up, dude.
I have no choice right now.
Yeah, I feel it so bad. But looking forward to spending some time in France with you, man. And dude, looking forward to it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we're out of here, boys. Thanks for everything, Austin. Kill it, dude.
Thank you. Later.
Yeah, come on. My mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life.